One of my biggest contentions with the most recent episode of Doctor Who, the Interstellar Song Contest, was the characterization of its antagonists, Wint and Kid. For me, I don't like this creative decision because it feels like it's reinforcing a really frustrating stereotype, that being villainizing victims of trauma, whether it be small scale, like abuse, or major scale, like in this case, like victims of mass genocide. And it's a really unhealthy thing to do, to imply that people who are victim to that sort of thing get so angry and demand for justice that they'll violently lash out at anyone and will be blind to any other option other than just killing people. And it's not just the fact that it's violence they're going for, but it's for people that aren't actually responsible for what happened to them. If it was direct revenge on the corporation, because on paper, if you look at what's happened to the Hellier, the corporation should be the antagonists of this story, but for some reason they've decided to make the Hellier so unreasonably selfish that it denies them their opportunity to have the moral high ground, and it means that the corporation don't actually get to face any consequences for their actions, because trying to wipe out 3 trillion people is far, far worse than what they initially did. What they did is still bad, but we don't get to see that get taken down because we're all distracted by Kid's plan. And that's not really fair, because they should be the ones having to pay either reparations or be taken down by the end of the story. But instead they just get an artificial apology with that song, and it doesn't really work. It just comes off really uncomfortable. If you want other examples of this stereotype, look out on the episode of Doctor Who Kablam. You've also got a couple of episodes of Inside Number 9, Big Hero 6, and you've also got The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It means a lot of these victims of trauma in these situations don't actually get justice because they are pushed towards a one-dimensional villain role. Even taking out the real-world connotations, considering what's going on right now, it's just a lazy form of character writing, trying to pretend that this one-dimensional psychopath has nuance but not actually do anything with it. That is really badly constructed and quite distasteful. And I know they try and do the I'm just doing what is expected of me, but the episode and character aren't nuanced or clever enough to do that. And it also brings out a really negative side in the Doctor. He is not justified in terms of how aggressive he handles Kid. Both characters suffer from a massive escalation. They go too quickly towards darkness and violence when there were multiple opportunities to potentially do something more peaceful. If they were at least trying better things, like if he took over the station to try and expose the lies of the corporation, show those audience members what had been happened to them, the truth behind all the misinformation about them, that might have been better. But the fact that they went straight to mass death is really stupid. And I also think the Doctor not at least asking Kid for his motivation to try and understand him, because this Doctor in particular is much more empathetic and trying to understand people. So the fact that he just went straight to threats really is a mischaracterization of this Doctor in particular. So overall, I'm very disappointed with this episode's decision to present this concept, because it's supposedly about breaking stereotypes, but instead conforms to them, and as a result, I think I really don't enjoy this one. Probably my second least favourite of the season because of this choice, and I feel like both Russell T Davies and Juno Dawson should have known better on this subject.